Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Ginger and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Ginger's ability to understand and respond to her formal obedience commands, the motivation and the small corrections that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction, as you know, that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Ginger's going to come home with her very own training collar, and we'll be teaching you how to use it during your follow-up training session. And she's really interested in a bird sitting up in the tree that's squawking at us, so she's definitely a hunting dog, but she is holding her sit right next to Fred. The first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on the leash, and the command is Ginger heel. Now at this point, Ginger has a job to do, and that is to stay with you, focused on your left leg, not forging ahead or lagging behind, always staying right with you, and each time that you stop walking, she has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So this makes walking your dog a pleasure. And one of the most common complaints that we have with dogs is that I can't walk my dog because they pull so badly it hurts my arm. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. Your long sit-stay should be from 1 minute working up to 3 minutes. And you saw her start to get up and Fred say no and just repeated the command. So have her lengthen these out because she's old enough and mature enough to do that. When Fred returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her. That's an additional distraction, and he'll end up back at heel position. And at this point, she expects to get another command, and he told her to heel again. Very nice automatic sits on that heel. She's a darling. She really is. She's a good girl. Fred leaves her in another sit-stay, walks out to the end of his leash to face her. And this time, instead of returning back to her, Fred is going to demonstrate the come on command. She's to come right in front and sit facing your knees, and then she goes back to heel position, and they take off heeling again. So everything starts and stops with the dog at your left, with her shoulders, even with your left leg. And anytime that you're going to do something other than that, you have to tell her what you want her to do. Fred leaves her in another sit-stay. And he will demonstrate that recall again. And you notice it lightened his tone of voice, is happy about it. She comes right in and sits facing you so that she's not jumping on you. She's a smart girl. And she's such a sweetie. She's very eager to please. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. So with your dog seated at your left, you use your left open palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down and stay. The long down stay, you can practice this right in your living room where it's warm and comfortable. And she should be able to hold this from 3 to 5 minutes. When Fred returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her just as he did on the sit-stay. And when he gets to her shoulders, then she expects to get another command. And she gets right up and goes heeling again. This is the down from heel again. You have to tell her to stay. And this time Fred will call her in out of that command. Comes right in and sits, and then she goes back to heel. She gets a little pat for praise. Back sitting, she forgot to sit. Still very good. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is her down from a distance. And this is just a little bit harder exercise to teach because she's not right next to you. So this time Fred is going to leave her in a sit stay. He's going to walk out to the end of his training leash and face the dog. And he's going to use his right hand to give the command. And she drops into a down from the end of the leash. Now, we have really enjoyed having Ginger. She's done a great job here at school. She's a sweet girl. Now she knows all of her formal obedience commands. We thank you for choosing us again as your personal dog trainers.